Hey guys, and welcome back to Gunpla News episode 9 for August 2015. Once again, you can watch all the parts of this month's episode as a playlist on my channel, or just skip around and watch whichever parts you want. First part we talked about news, the second part we talked about kit and figure announcements. This part we're going to be talking about updates on kits and figures we knew were already coming out, and the fourth part we're going to talk about third-party stuff very quickly because we didn't really have anything to talk about this month. And then the last part we're going to talk about some featured kits. We have 5 of those, some pretty cool features, so make sure you stick around to check those out, get some inspiration. So let's go ahead and start off the updates. There are quite a lot of them, so there's quite a lot of stuff on the books coming out. Let's go with the metal build stuff first. The metal build Strike Freedom Gundam is out in November for 27,000 yen. Really cool, unique design, great metal build stuff. I've heard great things about them, but very expensive. Then we also have the metal build Astray Red Frame. No release date or price set for this yet, but it does look pretty cool. As I've said in videos before, I think the Red Frame will be coming with the shield, beam rifle, and then its specialty weapon, the katana or the sword. It has a different name, sorry, once again, I forget the actual name for that, but the sword. And then there's also going to be the metal build Astray Blue Frame. Also no release date or price, but I can assume that those are probably going to be released at the same time, but we don't know when that's actually going to be yet. So again, like I said, I think the red frame is probably going to be coming with a sword, where the blue frame is going to be coming with the rocket launcher, sort of similar to the perfect grade, but don't know anything about that yet. So far, they're both only pictured with the shield and beam rifle, so just have to see. Then a pretty cool one is the Armor Girls Project MS Girl Gundam Mark II. No price or release date announcement for this yet that I've seen, although I could be wrong on that. But it does look really awesome. It looks like it's coming with like all the parts, not only to make the Barzam as well, so you can choose if you want to make a Gundam Mark II in the Titans colors or the Barzam. That's pretty cool, but it's also coming with the parts to make the Super Gundam, so like the backpack and the huge like rifle cannon for that, and it's got some really cool configurations of stuff that you can do with that, so looks pretty awesome. Like, if that was something that I would think that I would maybe be interested in buying, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be expensive is the thing, but it does look really cool. So then we have the Robot Damashi X-Ka Signature Penelope Gundam out in August this month for 23,700 yen, and also the Marking Plus version available for 28,000 yen. Enough about that. Then we have the Robot Spirits Freedom Gundam out this month in August for 5,900 yen. Looks pretty cool. I like the look of that quite a bit. It looks a lot more interesting than the upcoming HG Revive kit, in my opinion. But then we also have the next month in September, the Robot Spirits Justice Gundam coming out to pair with the Freedom Gundam for 6,000 yen, so a little bit more expensive, just barely. Again, out next month in September, and that looks pretty nice as well. Then we have a whole mess of all of the versions of the G-Self. We have first off the Robot Spirits G-Self Space Pack, and again, as far as I know, all of these are, the price and release date is not announced yet, so just have to wait and see for that. So we've got the G-Self Space Pack is the first one. The second one is the G-Self Tricky Pack. I have watched a little bit more of the series now, and I've actually been able to see some of these packs more in use, and the Tricky Pack is pretty cool despite it looking very goofy. In the anime, at least, it was pretty interesting. If I could figure out exactly what it's supposed to do, I don't know, but what it does in the anime is pretty cool. Anyway, then we have the Robot Spirits G-Self Assault Pack, which looks nice, but again, I'm sure it's going to be double the price of the HG, so I think you're probably still going to be better off just buying the HG. And then there is the G-Self Torque Pack, one that I wish they would do in HG, and I think it's possible that they might, but at this point in time, no word on that. And then moving into a different series, we have the Robot Spirits Gundam Spiegel. No price or release date set for this one yet either, but it does look pretty cool. if you're into German stuff. So that's that. Then the Robot Spirits Neo Zeong, again, no price or release date for this, and as far as I know, it's only coming with what we can see in the picture there, basically upper body, shoulders, and 2 hands. No like lower body, fuel tanks, or the other arms, anything, I'm not sure. One thing about that also is that it's not going to be coming with the Shinanju. If you want to have the Shinanju in it, you're going to have to buy the Shinanju separately, which kind of stinks, but no choice there. I guess that's how they've chosen to do that. So then we also have the Robot Spirits Jagan Echoas type. Looks pretty cool. The poses they've got in are pretty cool poses. I think it's definitely going to help sell that. But again, when you could get the HG for a fraction of the cost, don't really see the logic, but some people like figures, so that is that. I think if you guys haven't figured out by now, I'm not really a huge figure collector personally, but some people are. That's perfectly fine. Robot Spirits Strike Rouge is up next. Again, cool, different version of the Strike, and it's in pink. No price or release date for that one yet either. And then we have the Robot Spirits Providence Gundam, one that I've said before is something that I really wish we would get a master grade of, because I think that design would be very well suited for a cool master grade release. I like the design of that one quite a bit, especially the weapons. I like the shield beam saber thing, that big gun it has. Cool, it's one of my favorite designs from the series, definitely. And then the Robot Spirits Mobius Zero, out, no release date or price set for that yet either. But again, that's going to be for use on its own, or you should be able to use it with other Robot Spirits from that series that is compatible with. So, and then the last Robot Spirits is the Rick Diaz. With this, we do know it's going to be out in December, but no price for this one either. We can probably assume between 4,500 and 6,000 yen is pretty standard price for that sort of mobile suit, I think. So anyway. Then let's talk about some Next Edge stuff. If any of you guys are collecting the Next Edge figures, the Next Edge 00 Quant is going to be out in December for 3,000 yen. Looks pretty cool. The effect part that you can put it like around the top or around the side. Interesting effect parts got there. And of course you can have like the extra long sword and do all of that 00 Quant stuff if you guys are into that. Then we have the Next Edge style Gundam Astray Red Frame out 1 month before in November for 2,500 yen. So same price as the RG, I believe, but out a couple months later. What this comes with is a cool like slash crescent moon shaped like effect part for that, which is pretty cool. I don't know. Like I said, if you guys are collecting those Next Edge figures, they do look pretty nice, I think. So. Then we have some Tamashii Webshop exclusive stuff. The Tamashii Webshop exclusive Robot Spirits G Self Reflector Pack. So that is out in November for 8,100 yen. Pretty pricey, but it does look pretty nice. It looks nicer than the HG kit, which we're getting from Premium Bandai. I'll talk about that shortly. But that one does look a bit nicer, I think. And then we have the Tamashii Webshop exclusive Mega Bazooka Launcher out in November for 3,800 yen. Now the Master Grade version came out from Premium Bandai last month, and this one is just the Robot Damashi or Robot Spirits kind of version of that as well. Looks interesting. Then we have the Tamashii Webshop exclusive Robot Spirits Unicorn Gundam and Banshee Norn Final Shooting version. It's out in October for 15,000 yen. So pretty pricey, but again, this they're in different colors, slightly different colors there, and they have a little bit different options in terms of the parts. Especially with the Banshee, you can choose to have it with its leg off, how it was in the actual like Final Shooting in the anime, in the OVA. But that's pretty interesting, kind of cool. Then the Tamashii Webshop exclusive Robot Spirits Fun Psyche out in October for 6,400 yen. So you can use that, of course, with Master Gundam, God Gundam, Shining Gundam, any Gundam you really want, I suppose. But most ideally with some of those from the same series, I think. And then that's it for those. So let's talk about some Gashapon stuff. There's the Gundam Gashapon Senshi Dash Series 2. out in August this coming month for 300 yen each. So these are just gashapon, so pretty cheap. But you might have a problem actually getting them is the problem. So so that is going to have the new Gundam, the Sazabi, the Crossbone X2, and the Crossbone X3. And then there's a mystery unit as well, which looks like some sort of Musha Gundam, but it's hard to tell. In the later pictures that we got, it doesn't look like anything particular at all. So I don't know, we'll just have to see about that. But if you guys like gashapon stuff, might be something you might want to search out and get. Then we have some Converge stuff. We have Gundam Converge Series 20 out in September for 4,000 yen. So as I mentioned before in the last video, we're going to have a Converge figure of the Barbatos Gundam. That's probably going to be in Series 21, which is not actually announced yet. Anyway, Series 20 has the Build Burning Gundam, Baragai family, the Grimoire, the V2 Buster Gundam, and the Gundam TR1 Hazel, and the Hyzak. So that's pretty cool. All that stuff. I'd love to have one of those Hazel or even the V2 Buster as well. So those would be nice to get if I can. And then there's the Gundam Converge SP Unicorn Gundam and Banshee Gundam metallic version, out in September. And no price for those yet, but interestingly, those are going to be for sale outside of Japan. So people in Japan will actually be the ones to have to go out of their way to get those for once. That's pretty good. Good for us outside of Japan. Both of those are in destroy mode and metallic, so you can figure that's probably going to be a little bit more expensive, that set, but if you like unicorn stuff, that should be pretty cool. Then the Gundam Converge SP06 Zeta Gundam and the O out in September for 2,200 yen. Again, the Zeta Gundam can transform. That's pretty interesting. And then the O Gundam, the O has sub arms under its skirt, of course, that can hold its beam saber. So that's really cool as well. If you guys didn't know, recently I went home to America and brought my master grade, the O, back. It's just snapped together at the moment, but I wanted to bring that back to actually paint it up. It's a really cool kit, expensive and not that easy to find, I've heard, because I think Bandai is not really making a lot of those. But anyway, cool kit, and that's totally off subject, but anyway, that looks like a pretty cool Converge set. Then we also have a premium Bandai Gundam Converge Core, Double O Gundam and Riser out in August for 2,000 yen. The Double O Gundam and the Riser can of course be combined. The special thing about this is that it just has some special markings, basically what makes this a premium Bandai set. Then there's also the premium Bandai Gundam Converge Core S Gundam. Again, it's just slightly different colors and different markings, and that is it. So I think even the markings might actually be the same as well. I don't remember, but the color is definitely different. So that's out in August, this coming month, for 1,500 yen. Definitely pricey for just one Converge figure, but it does look cool anyway. And finally, the Gundam Converge EX07 GP03 Dendrobium out in November for 3,200 yen. This one I definitely pre-ordered because, well, not definitely. I mean, I was thinking about it a little bit at first, and finally I decided to definitely just go ahead and go for it because it looks really cool. I like the kind of larger Converge sets. I have my Deep Striker and Hummingbird up there, and I think this one's going to make a great addition. It looks pretty cool. The only negative thing about this is that it looks like it almost has too many options for it, which is like hard to say, even though that's a negative thing, but it almost looks like there's going to be so many options it's going to be too hard to choose like how I want to actually display it, but we'll just have to see. Then let's move into premium Bandai stuff, as there is a lot of it coming out in the near future. The first one is the premium Bandai Master Grade Heavy Gundam out in September for 4,800 yen. Looks really cool, and I was kind of on the fence about this one because I kind of like it, but ultimately decided not to go ahead and get this one personally. But if any of you guys are getting it, definitely let me know how it is. If any of you guys are planning on getting this kit, send me a message and let me know on my Facebook page, because I have a question about it that I want to ask you guys, so let me know. about that. Thanks. And then next, there is the Premium Bandai RG ZakuAurelius mass production version. This is something I think a lot of people were expecting for a long time, and finally it was announced. It's going to be coming out soon, this month in August, for 2,700 yen. So basically it's just a recolor, and that's basically it. Pretty much something that you could do on your own, but that's that. And then I just want to mention this again, even though we've had no more news about it, is the Premium Bandai 1/100 scale G Falcon to be used with the Gundam XX. I think at this point it's safe to assume that Bandai just abandoned that idea. It was announced, sort of. We didn't have any release date or price set for it yet, but they definitely said in the model magazines that there was going to be a Premium Bandai G Falcon, but it seems at the moment that Bandai has just abandoned that. So we might, if we don't get any news about that in the next month, I'm not going to talk about it anymore in future episodes, because I don't think we're going to actually get it at this point. So next we have the Premium Bandai HGUC Jagen Type A2, the General Rebel version. Again, no release date set for this, which is kind of strange, but the price is going to be 1,800 yen. Pretty cool, just another HGUC Premium Bandai Jagen. So if you wanted a very specific type without having to do any modding of your own, this is going to be your chance to get that one. Then we also have a Premium Bandai HGUC Silver Bullet Gael-chan Custom out in September for 2,400 yen. Again, this is mostly just a recolor. The head is slightly different, and that's basically going to be the only thing different in terms of the mold of the kit that I can tell. Again, just going to be some color swapping there for the most part. So the head does look really cool though. So I do like that quite a bit. I like that head better than the standard Gundam head that it comes with. Next, we have the Premium Bandai HG G-Self Reflector Pack out in September for 2,200 yen. Again, it looks really nice, but I think the figure version, the Robot Damashi or Robot Spirits version, does look a little bit nicer. But of course, for more than double the price, that's probably what you would hope to get anyway, I would suppose. Then coming out soon this month, we've got the Premium Bandai HG Build Fighters Cathedral Gundam for 2,400 yen. Looks, if you're planning on getting that, I would definitely plan on doing some painting, because it's molded a lot of those very nasty yellow gold on that. So unless you're one of the few people who actually likes that color, I definitely think you got to be doing some painting on that one. And then we also have the Premium Bandai HG Build Fighters High-Nu Gundam Influx. I haven't seen news on the price or release date for this, but I think it's possible I could have missed that news, because I think we probably got some release date or price on that. So sorry, you guys, if I just missed that. But anyway, that is just basically a modified version of the High-Nu Vrabe that came out a few months ago. And then we have the Premium Bandai HG Build Fighters Dryon 3. It's going to be coming out soon, this month in August, for 2,800 yen. Of course, it's just a version of the Dryon that's basically all black. Has a different V-fin, and then it has just a bunch of gold stickers that are going to be going around for all that gold lining on there. So it's basically just an all-black version of the Dryon 3 with a new V-fin. Then the last of the Premium Bandai is the SD BB Senshi Musha Dai Shogun Gundam White Steel version, out in August this coming month for 2,700 yen. So again, for you SD Musha fans, there's that. So let's move into the standard release stuff and start off with the biggest announcement that we've had for a while. It's not an announcement at this point, just the biggest thing that we know of that's coming out at the moment is the Perfect Grade Banshee Norn, out in September for 22,000 yen. Definitely a big price tag for that, but it being a perfect grade, and the unicorn was expensive, and this one's basically a perfect grade unicorn with more stuff in there. I'm assuming it's gonna be maybe 3 or 4 extra runners there, but so that's going to be our extra price. As far as the LEDs, you're just going to be able to use the same LED set for that, which is kind of nice that they didn't make a new dedicated LED set for that. I think that's good. Anyway, it looks really cool. I'm hoping to get one. We'll see. Then next, the HG Hyper Beam Javelin to be sold with the Gundam UC Bande Dessinée Volume 14 out in December for 1,200 yen. So just with that manga, you can get, if you missed it before, this is another chance for you to get the Hyper Beam Javelin in HG scale. So that's pretty cool. Then we have a couple of kits coming out from Build Fighters yet. The HG Build Fighters Gundam Leopard Da Vinci out this month for 1,800 yen. It's looking okay. As if you guys have seen like past videos, I've had kind of mixed thoughts about it. At first I thought it looked great. Later I thought it looked not so great, very disappointing. Now I could go either way. I'll just have to see when I actually get the kit in hand to see what I actually think about that. I don't know, let me know what you guys think about that. If you saw on my Facebook page, I posted a couple pictures of some like the first kits that I ever built. One of them being like the old HG 1100 scale Leopard Gundam, which I didn't know at the time, but now when I was like looking back at it, I noticed that it's a bootleg, so pretty funny. It was definitely pretty like janky kit, but if you want to go to my Facebook page, you can see my like 13-year-old build of that kit. Anyway. Again, off subject. Sorry, guys. HG Build Fighters Kamiki Burning Gundam is out in September for 1,800 yen as well. I think it's looking a little bit better now that we can actually see it in color, but still not really my favorite. I think I like the first two versions of that much better. This is definitely my least favorite of the three. But yeah, I don't know. That's just my opinion. If you guys, I'm sure some of you guys are into it. And then one more from Build Fighters is the SD Build Fighters Kurenai Musha Amazing out in August, this coming month, for 1,000 yen. Again, looks like there's going to be a lot of painting and stickers required on that kit. As we can see, there's just a lot of stickers on there. I don't like the look of it at all, but again, that's just me. So let's go ahead and move into HG Reconquista NG. We've got one more coming out, and it might be the last one. It's the G-Self Perfect Pack coming out this month for 2,700 yen. Like I said, I kind of hope it's not the last one because there are still some really cool designs from Reconquista NG, but I don't know, with the series basically being done and the new series starting up, I think we might not see too much more from this in the high grade line for a while, or for a very long time, I think. Still hoping and that there's going to be a master grade G-Self, and I think a lot of people are waiting for that as well. That's sort of more of a when than if. They're going to have to do it eventually. It's the main Gundam of this series. They have to do at least one master grade from the series, right? But when that's going to be, we do not know yet. So, moving into HGUC, we have the Gundam Mark II Revive version out in November for a price that is yet to be announced. But we can assume 1,600 yen. I'm going to just guess that. But anyway, that's looking pretty cool. That's probably my most anticipated of the Revive series so far. Then moving into some Origin stuff. So speaking of some kits that I've really liked so far, we have the HG Prototype Goof, which is going to be out in September for 1,800 yen. Looks really nice. What we're seeing there so far, it's going to have like the exchangeable arm hands things. Looks like if you want to exchange those with the mobile worker, you can put like the big mobile worker claw on the Goof, or you can put any number of the Goof hands on the mobile worker. That's going to be kind of cool that they're doing that. I think should make for some pretty interesting combinations there. The Goof also is coming with a Heat Hawk, so it's going to have a hand that can hold the Heat Hawk in the right hand, and you can also store the Heat Hawk inside the Goof's shield, which is kind of nice, so that's pretty interesting. Then we have the HG YMS-07 Goof, a little bit different version. This one we haven't had any news on as far as I've seen. I might have missed it once again, sorry if I did, but as far as I've seen, we haven't seen any more news on that. I'm guessing it just kind of maybe got put on hold for the minute with all of the Iron-Blooded Orphan stuff that's coming out. This Goof, I'd assume it might be coming out a little bit later in November after all the Iron-Blooded Orphan stuff comes out. Basically what it seems like is that September is going to be the month for all the HG Origin stuff, then October is the month for all the HG Iron-Blooded Orphan stuff, and then November might be sort of mix of the two with the 1/100 scale Barbatos, and then maybe this version of the Goof out in November as well. Don't know, but hopefully that's not like scrapped or abandoned, because I really want that kit. It looks really nice. Then we have the HG Mobile Worker. Again, a very, very unique design that I think is going to take, it's going to have a lot of stickers, I'm sure, and I think it's going to take a lot of painting on that to make it look really nice, but I'm sure we're going to see a lot of awesome and interesting builds of that. Interestingly, if you're not planning on painting it, the shield that it comes with is molded in the opposite colors of what it should be, so it should be like, I think it's orange with like gray nubs, but I think the mold of it is actually gray with orange nubs, so kind of silly. I don't know why they did that, but for people who paint, of course, it's no problem, but if you don't paint, I might have to do a little bit of painting there to make that accurate if you want. But again, at least that's going to be a very unique design, which is the important part. And then the last thing from the origin is the HG Zaku 2 High Mobility Type Black Tri-Stars Custom Ortega version. The Gaia and MASH version came out, and I'm in the process of snapping that for review probably after this, after the Gunpla news. That's going to be the next one up for review. But it's essentially very similar to the Char's Zaku 2, which I did a review of already. Just new parts for the backpack and the legs, and this one is going to have a unique weapon. It has that giant axe, and it also has a dedicated base and effect part for that too, which is pretty cool, which is why they ended up releasing this one separate from the other two. So kind of unique that they did that. But anyway, that's out in September as well for 2,200 yen. So pretty nice looking kit though anyway. Looking forward to that. Then there's the HG Freedom Gundam Revive version out this month in August for 1,800 yen. Doesn't look all that exciting to me, but I don't know. If some of you guys are fans of the Freedom Gundam, I'm sure you're looking forward to that. But for me, I don't know. From what they've shown of it so far, it doesn't really look all that exciting. I don't know. But if you're a fan, that's going to be pretty cool. I'm sure I'll be building it to show for you guys, so we'll see. I could very easily change my mind when I get my hands on it and see what all it can do. What I'm hoping that at least it's going to be able to do very well is just be really stable with those huge wings and like the cannons on it and everything, all of that. It's got to be really stable to use all of that stuff. So if it's strong and sturdy, then it'll be good. If it's able to like pull off a lot of those poses without a lot of weight issues, then that's going to be the important thing for me. Then there is also the HG Freedom Revive custom kit that's going to be out this month as well for 900 yen, and it's coming with the Hobby Japan October issue, so you'll have to get that with the magazine. Those are never very fun for people outside of Japan because the magazines weigh a lot, so getting those often costs quite a bit. Probably more than what you're going to be paying for the actual kit itself, so you gotta really want that to be able to get it. But the price for it is 900 yen, but again, if you're living outside of Japan, it's probably easily going to double that with the shipping. So there's that. It's basically a way to turn your Freedom Gundam into a Freedom Gundam Frameferter. Very silly sounding name, and I don't really like the look of it at all either, but some people will, I'm sure. Then we have the Master Grade Gundam Amazing Red Warrior, one thing that also is coming out in August, pretty soon, for 4,800 yen. Doesn't look all that interesting. It really looks like a slightly better version of the HG, which I thought the HG was perfectly fine. Of course, they went with the godly entrance that it had in the anime for the box art. Anyway, the box art, I mean, it looks cool, but just kind of funny that they chose that for the box art. Anyway, I don't know really why it's funny at all, but I don't know. Whatever. And then, yeah, so it looks, yeah, nice. It's got an inner frame, but other than that, it's just a larger version of the HG, in my personal opinion. But again, when we actually build it, we'll see if my mind changes. Then there's the RG Gundam Astray Red Frame. This one I'm definitely looking forward to, coming out this month in August for 2,700 yen. Again, in the pictures that we've seen here, I think the sword and the hand for holding the sword are too big compared to the rest of the mobile suit. But for me, it's okay because I don't plan on using that weapon at all. I plan on just using the shield and beam rifle. I like the look of that a lot better for the Astray. Personally, I don't really like the look of the sword all that much at all. So I've said this before in previous videos, and I think I'm pretty sure about it now that I'm not really planning on using that sword at all. So probably after I review that, I'll probably just give that sword away to you guys. So I think probably just wait for that video review, and then in the review I'll say for sure if I'm gonna do that or not, and then like just open it up for like the first person to call it in the comments. We'll get it kind of like similar to what I do with some stickers in the videos as well. So if you want an extra sword for your RG Astray, look out for that review video at the end of August, beginning of September, around there. Then there is probably a very high chance that there's going to be premium Bandai versions of that, like a blue frame or some other version of the Astray. We can certainly expect some special versions of that to be coming out at some point in time in the near future. Then moving into some SD stuff, as we're almost done here, the SD BB Senshi Versal Knight Gundam out this month in August for 1,600 yen. And then the SD Gundam EX Standard RX-78-2 Gundam. Again, I think I did miss the new information on this because I think I saw it, but I forgot to put it in my notes here. As far as I know, there's still no price or release date set for that, but it should be coming out relatively soon, I'd imagine. And then there's also going to be the SD Gundam X Standard AL Strike Gundam as well. I don't have the price or release date for that, but it should be coming out probably 1 or 2 months after the RX-78-2. 1 month after, I would assume, but I don't know for sure. Anyway, those are basically just sort of better versions of SD kits where it looks like the articulation is going to be nicer. The weapons are going to be a little bit compatible with some like HG kits sort of, so that's kind of cool. Then just a couple of extra parts sets kind of stuff. The HG Builders Parts MS Hand 01 Federal Forces Dark Gray version out this month in August for 420 yen. And then last, the System Weapons 10 out in August this month for 1,300 yen. This comes with a Gundam Seed style bazooka and beam rifle, so these can be used, of course, not only with, I mean, they're meant for Seed style kits, but of course you can use them with whatever you want. So pretty cool looking weapons there. Actually, I do like the look of those quite a bit. I've never actually got any System Weapons kits before because I've always found them to be kind of expensive, but those ones do look pretty nice, and I think, as I've said in past videos before, that bazooka would be perfect to use to make a RG Astray blue frame, so I'm sure we're going to be seeing some of those. If not, a blue frame being released as a premium Bandai kit is also a very high possibility. So anyway, that's it for all the updates. There was a lot of those, so this part is going to be by far the longest part of this month's episode of Gunpla News. The next part is going to be third party. It's going to be very, very short, so at least that should be pretty cool. Good for you guys if you're suffering through a very long video. Sorry about that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. The third party stuff is up next, and then finally the featured artists, so make sure at least to stick around for that part. It's pretty cool kits this month. So thanks guys for watching. See you in part 4.